Look at all that money. Look at all that money. Yeah, the money that they've spent. Take another look and take some time for hemp. Don't cut trees for paper, cause it hurts the environment. Stop deforestation, yeah, it's time for hemp. Well, an acre of hemp makes 20 barrels of oil. No need for pesticides to poison all our soil. People got no food, they got no clothes, they got no rent. Well, it's time for hemp.
Yes, it is. It is time for hemp again. I am your host, Casper Leitch. Thank you for tuning in to the big broadcast. Please don't forget, anytime you hear the word joint, hit your pipes, your bongs, your vaporizers, and take time for hemp. I don't say this often, but if you didn't see the last show, you need to, because it is amazing because of today's guest. Today's guest is a DA in Texas. We're going to be bringing her on if we bring on my joint host, but I can certainly tell you she is an inspiration, and she puts me to mind to people like Gatewood Galbraith, Peter Criss, founder of Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, and he organized a group of police officers and lawyers and judges to stand up against prohibition, and this DA would fit right into that crowd. But anyway, before we get there, I want to say hello to our joint guests today. We got 3 joint guests, so we're going to start passing it around with my first joint host, Al Byrne. Hey, Al.
Hi. Hi, guys. I hope you're back for the second half of this interview we're doing here. And but what Casper wants me to do now is sell my book. Go ahead, put the book up. There we go. Al wrote a book. It's called For Country and Cannabis. And it's very heavy on the history of medical cannabis in the country, who did it. It's very much, I'm a 24-year retired Navy officer, and we have a concentration of information in that book that relates to veterans and their use of cannabis and why. Anyway, it's a decent book. And one of our guests today, we only have one, is a Army brat. I think she said Army. We'll check that out. So we have Casper's ex-Army, I'm ex-Navy, and we got an Army brat. But the guy that I'm going to introduce now is not even an American. He's not. He's one of those Canuck people.
But we love him.
Yeah, Canucks, I think they call them up that way. Anyway.
He's got a great sense of humor.
My friend, my Canuck friend, Al Graham.
Hello, guys. Hey, good to talk to my American friends here on Time for Hemp.
And I usually listen to you on your radio station.
Yes, paceradio.net. You can find us. We're people advocating cannabis education, and we not only talk cannabis, but we also talk psychedelics, and we also have content providers on our network, including Time for Hemp, that broadcasts every Friday morning at 10 a.m.
Woohoo! And I tell you who else you should be playing on your radio station. Some great music from Mad Dabber 710. Hey, Mad Dabber. Welcome to our groovy little party here.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Thank you for having me.
You do some great music. Tell people about your music, dude.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I play guitar, I sing, I rap. I play with a bunch of members of P-Funk and Motown and the band Maruga Cosmic Boogie. I'm also Bridges from Booker and Bridges Delight. We were named Top 25 Funk Albums of 2021 with our album World Jam-demic by Funk and Stuff magazine. Just signed with 1836 Entertainment, so shout out to those guys as well. Woohoo. And you can also catch me every Sunday night from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Central Texas time with Sundays Free with JJB on KZSM LP 104.1 San Marcos and KZSM.org.
And doesn't he have a radio voice? Huh?
He does. He does.
I was just thinking the same thing, Al.
You know, Justin, it might behoove you to take over some kind of big, large radio conglomerate sometime and just make it your own. I don't know. Anyway, you are in a state called Texas, and I mean, if you want to go and get a pack of cigarettes, you might as well just pack a lunch because everything's an hour drive or more. And so that means this lady down in West Texas, if you all were this like Indiana, it'd only be like a 20-minute drive, but where you're at, West Texas is quite a distance. But Sarah Stogner, our joint guest today, whoa, is a DA in Texas and has a lot of courage to stand up and tell the world how important it is to take time for hemp. And Sarah, you have been an outspoken activist long before you came into the cannabis movement. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, I've been ruffling feathers for quite a long time.
And you're not just telling the naked truth, you're telling the naked truth, right?
Right. I am telling the naked truth. People Google me. There is a semi-nude video of me out there riding a pump jack to raise awareness on problems we were having with oil wells.
Oh,
And what was those problems?
This lady has fun causing trouble. How cool. How cool.
Good trouble.
Yeah, good trouble.
that's right.
It's a good thing you're a DA, you know your laws so that you can keep yourself from being behind bars for too long anyway.
Yeah. That is.
Right.
Well, yeah, the subject here, folks, is Texas and THC, a compound of cannabis, one of maybe 300 or 400. We don't really know them all yet. That doesn't mean they're bad. There's 300 compounds in a tomato. And I'm not doing anything weird down here with my hand. I have a golden retriever who's scared to death because there's a thunderstorm there. So one thing I'd like to bring up, Sarah, yeah, we're old. We can say anything. Where was I? Yeah, in Texas, they're
I
having.
didn't even notice until you said something. And now I can't.
Well, you know, we try to make this a fun show along with education. We've been known to. Oh well. So THC in Texas, they don't want any. See, and I'd like the Texas to understand something about that compound. Yes, it is psychoactive. That means it is one of the compounds. Cannabis is the only plant in the world that can cross through the brain's blood barrier. The brain's blood barrier keeps out everything that the brain doesn't want. The brain barrier is porous to cannabis because inside the brain are somewhat like 50,000 receptors for cannabis compounds, including THC. Now, let's do THC, the compound. There's a lot of talk about, the THC levels are way up what they were. Yeah, or they can be way down. The growers now can control the different genetics of these plants and pretty much get whatever you want. So what do you really want if you're a medicine user like I am and like these guys are? What we want is not a trip. We're not on some sort of psychedelic trip of some sort. We want a friggin' medicine, and we want it to do what we want it to do. In my case, it's deal with post-traumatic stress bullshit and a hell of a lot of pain. It's different for everybody. But in the THC level, you have another compound, which you all heard about, called CBD. It's a great compound. It helps with pain. It helps with all kinds of stuff. But if you've got a THC level of 10 in your plant, and you've got a CBD level of 10 in your plant, that negates the psychoactive activity of the THC. So just having THC in a plant does not make it psychoactive. It makes it psychotropic, Psychotropic means that the good stuff in the plant gets through that brain barrier, gets into your brain with the 50,000 receptors and does good things for your endocannabinoid system. But again, in Texas, they don't even seem to know there is an endocannabinoid system. So what I'm getting at again as a veteran is I'm worried about the veterans in Texas. There's something like 1.4 million of them. And I think it's the fourth highest veteran state in the country, third in there. It's a lot of vets. And if you take that THC out of there, you're doing irreparable harm to these men and women. Leave them alone. Just take this law and stick it someplace. It's unnecessary. It's illogical. It's immoral. What the hell's wrong with you? The lieutenant governor, what's his name? He's a fool.
Dan Patrick.
Dan Patrick, I'm Al Byrne. You're a fool.
Tell me how you really feel. Tell me how you really feel.
No, anyway, I'm trying to give Sarah another edge up here. That by adjusting the compound levels, THC becomes a non-event. It's not about THC. It's about managing the plant. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sarah.
Well, no, I was going to say, and I'm sure Justin's been laughing about Charles Perry, one of our senators, was in one of the hearings and said that someone was tripping for 3 days on some of marijuana, and it's like reefer madness, right? And so then
right. 100%.
I actually posted on social media. I was like, where have you been hiding this dank that gets you tripping for 3 days?
For 3 days, for real. I'll take some.
Well, for the folks that don't know, again, we got audiences here that are naive to all this. The cannabis use generally lasts in the average human being about 3 to 4 hours. And that doesn't mean that they're tripping, they're doing something weird. They're actually just relaxing. They're lowering their anxiety rate. They're increasing the benefits from their endocannabinoid system. Here's another thing that's going to come up in Texas, and I want to bring it up because somebody else will, and they won't know the answer, and I do. Driving. Can you drive on cannabis? Yeah. My brother-in-law has been driving a semi for 2.7 million miles without an accident, and he smokes cannabis all the way. And his boss tells him, I don't want you driving my truck unless you're smoking. There is 14 studies worldwide, including in the United States, of cannabis and driving. What happens? Now, I want to give you one key word. The word here is experienced. Experienced drivers on cannabis drive safer than people that are sober. Think about that. They beat the statistics on sober. And the word is experience. Now, if you're not experienced, you get behind the wheel and things are a little fuzzy. No, don't do it. But if you're an experienced driver like me, I've been smoking cannabis every day of my life for 40 years. I could do anything on cannabis. I've had patients over and over tell me, Al, if I don't smoke cannabis, I shouldn't drive. How's that? Well, now, back to the international studies, every one of them echoes what I just told you. That every study done in every country, including America, is that if somebody is an experienced driver, they will not have a problem driving. If you look at states like Colorado, Oregon, where cannabis has been legal for quite a while, DUIs are down, accidents are down. There is just less damage with automobiles and trucks because, why? Because they're experienced and they are more focused than even sober drivers. Well, so I think Texas, that'll come up.
I think Sarah has a good insight on that too, because I'm sure that she and the police officers in her area deal with that topic all the time, right, Sarah?
Yeah. So I would say that the biggest thing that we see is alcohol, right? And people don't understand that even if you are a regular alcohol user, your body physically at 0.04 blood alcohol content, your eyes change, and it's called nystagmus, and it's the reason that driving under the influence of alcohol is uniquely dangerous. It's the reason why we train officers and really concentrate efforts on alcohol, because it doesn't matter, you can be a professional drunk, right? 18 beers every day, you seem fine, you talk fine, you walk fine, but your eyeballs are not fine. And it's like windshields windshield wipers on a dry windshield, right? They hiccup, they hitch. And so your eyeballs do that when you've had drinks, and it's biological and physiological, and you can't fight it. And it makes driving under the influence of alcohol uniquely dangerous for those that get behind the wheel.
What do your cops and your sheriffs think about driving with cannabis people?
I think most of the time, let's say this, I don't have any pending DUI cases driving under the influence for cannabis. Right?
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
For sure.
And is that sheriffs or police or both, or what? State police?
Right. I mean, typically, if somebody's getting pulled over and they're smelling something, right, then they'll do a search. And I think that it shouldn't be necessarily PC anymore. I don't think it's necessarily probable cause, because you can't tell if it's hemp or marijuana, as they like to call it, right?
Yeah. Doesn't State versus Steelman, isn't that case law that got rid of that, being able to use the smell of cannabis for search and seizure?
Yeah, I don't know. I need to look that one up, Justin. I'm still learning, right? I mean, it's so not an issue in my jurisdiction, where as long as you're not driving around, like, we worry about the sand haulers that are high on meth and up for 3 days.
Oh yeah. No, just is correct. The law court has ruled that smell is no longer a justification, and a lot of it was just because it's what you said. How do you know it's not, first of all, illegal? There's a lot of legal patients, and how do you know it's not hemp? So it makes no sense.
Well, here's one thing I do know, Justin and Sarah. I don't understand how your politicians who love money, who love tax dollars, and who want to preach about jobs in their backyard are standing against hemp. It makes no sense. They are destroying businesses on every level, whether it be farming, whether it be store owners, whether it be product producers. Don't they understand that they're driving businesses underground and they're destroying the economy?
The thing that Dan Patrick understands is he's getting $400,000 last year from the alcohol industry. That's what he understands. So let's be honest, Kim Paxton, Dan Patrick, they're all paid for by the alcohol industry and by the pharmaceutical companies, and they get a lot of money from big interests to vote the way they do. That's why Dan Patrick is saying that he won't even allow anything but a THC ban to go to vote.
Really?
Yeah. What now even hemp with its 0.03% or whatever, there's still THC. So how that?
So he wants to make federally legal hemp illegal in Texas.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do. And the thing that they don't understand, and I don't know if they understand it or not, but all they're doing is taking money out of our economy, because Texans are still going to consume cannabis. They're still going to consume hemp. They're just going to pay for it and get it shipped in, because Texas doesn't have the right to stop interstate commerce, because that's federal. That's above the state. That's above the state of Texas. So they can't stop the interstate commerce. So people can still go online and order their hemp products, have them delivered right to their door, and there's nothing that the state can do about it.
Well, Sarah, are you having problems trying to figure out what type of laws to enforce and what the laws are and what they mean? And I mean, the way they're changing and all, they don't make. Are you able to follow what they're doing?
No, not right. On any given day, who knows, right? But I think big picture, my takeaway is that the Senate is wanting a total ban. In the House, you've got a lot more different people that are involved, and at least the hemp lobby has some advocates in the House that are trying to salvage these people that have been in business for years, right? I mean, you're talking about tens of thousands of jobs, millions of dollars in revenue. I think it would probably be an unconstitutional taking at this point.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think that, and again, this is a silly argument. Like, it should be decriminalized. It should be legalized. It should be,
descheduled.
Yeah, descheduled.
What about access wise? I don't know how your laws are now in Texas, as far as access, but in a legalized world, what would you be looking at as far as access for people?
Yeah, I mean, I tell people I envision there to be a nice little cannabis section at the grocery store, at HEB's, our Texas grocery store, right? And it's like, you've got
Best grocery store.
alcohol, and why can't I have a flower section? And then if you've got some sort of a cream for grandma, it's near the arthritis medicine. And I don't know why it can't just be incorporated into our everyday lives. It's
This might seem off the point, but I don't think it is. Would this THC ban be also for animal feed?
Yes.
At
the current moment, you can't.
Hemp,
Go ahead.
hemp lotion, right? Like, it's physically impossible to remove all THC. So
Right.
a total ban would make any sort of a hemp. It's silly. It's a silly law. It's
It's
silly.
not silly.
And right
It's
now,
stupid. That's stupid. You're too nice. That's stupid. In 2025, does Texas understand that 30 different nations in the world have cannabis in their pharmacopoeia?
Yeah.
I mean, for us, it's the federal thing is against the law anyway. If you look at the U.S. law, it says that if something is legal in the United States medically, like cannabis, in any state, then the federal law has to reflect that legality, and that's been going on for 40 years. So this whole law thing that these cops and lawyers that, again, I'm sorry, man, but these cops and lawyers that decide what we as human males and females, mature men and women, can put in our bodies in private. Texas? I'm telling you.
It's illegal to own more than 6 videos in Texas too, though. So come on now.
I've served with some guys from Texas in the Navy. They were super dudes, and every one of them's got to be as pissed as I am. I can't believe Texas is even considering that. Your whole reputation is gone. You might as well move to Connecticut.
the thing is, man, I'm telling you, like, the problem that we have here is that you have the good old boy system that's been a thing for so long that it disenfranchised a lot of the voters. And so for a while, especially with like when Rick Perry got voted into governorship, I believe he got voted in with something like 9% of the population vote, because a lot of people just didn't turn out to vote. And so that's the issue that you have. People have been so disenfranchised that they stop voting. And so right now what you're seeing is you're starting to see this resurgence of people being like, all right, they've gone too far. Now it's time to register to vote. It's time to come out and make things heard. I mean, people don't realize, they keep saying that the Republicans deserve these 5 seats and they should be able to redistrict because it's a Republican state. Out of this, there's over 17 million registered voters in Texas. Just over 6 million of those voters are registered Republican. Over 8 million registered voters in Texas are Democrat, and I think it's like 13% are registered independents. So the Republicans are only 37% of the registered voters here in Texas. In what world does that make it their right to have an extra 5 seats? Like, it's insane.
Those 5 seats need to wake up to the fact that these laws are silly. Sarah, we're down to the last few minutes. Is there anything you want to give a shout out to, you want to say or speak about?
Oh man, I think I tell people squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? And so call your legislatures, email them. I think Greg Abbott vetoed during the regular session because 120,000 people sent letters and they hand delivered them, and they showed up and they said, stop ignoring us. And so I do think that the takeaway has to be that ordinary people with a little bit of common sense can't quit on the system, and you can't have the apathy take over. And we need people to run for office. We need people we live in a duopoly run by oligarchs, and donors are the customers, not the voters. So unless you're in the system, you can't play the game. And so we can't afford to sit out and just wait and let them totally destroy it before we get involved.
And if you're living in Sarah's district, get out and vote for this woman. Keep her in office until God calls her home. You need her. You need her. Justin, I love having you on the show. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
You always bring joy, cheer, and a happy spirit. And why don't you let people know one more time about your music before we say so long, farewell, bye-bye?
Absolutely. You can check out the new, we just released a new LP or the EP, Living It Up, Justin James Bridges, the remastered version of Living It Up. It's available across all platforms. You can find me at jjbmusic.com. You can also find some of my cannabis music on maddabber710.com. And you can catch me every Sunday night on kzsm.org with Sundays Free with JJB.
Rock on. And speaking of radio content, Al Graham, one more time, let people know how they can listen to your content.
You can find us at paceradio.net, and we cover psychedelics as well as cannabis. And PACE stands for People Advocating Cannabis Education.
And Al Byrne, if I want to get a copy of this book called For Country and Cannabis, where do I find it?
Everywhere. Apple Books, Amazon Books, Thrift Books. They'll send it, the ebook or the hard copy. It's 360 pages. It's worth every nickel. If you if you have a healthcare professional in your life, if you are a patient, you need that book. So a lot of the stuff I just brought up about diving and CBD, THC, the fact that lawyers and cops are running your medical program for you, it's all in that book. It explains how we got from nothing to where we are today, where 30 countries in the world have cannabis in their pharmacopoeia, and the United States does not. Please buy the book, spread it around. It's worth it. It's worth it. And Sarah, thank you. It was a pleasure to have you. It's a pleasure to maybe we can be friends into the future and work together on. And I'm at your disposal if I can help you with some sort of background or information.
Thanks. I always love learning.
And I know, Sarah, Justin will be interested to have you be involved in Texas hemp stock. Isn't that going to be next year, Justin?
Yes, it will. We're going to be probably moving into a different day to make it a little bit cooler, but it will be happening again. We're looking probably just like Portland hemp stock used to be the weekend after Memorial Day. That's what we're looking at. Or Labor Day, I'm sorry, the weekend after Labor Day. So that's what we're looking at right now.
All right, so just don't put that on your calendar, Sarah. You're going to be busy that weekend. Justin's going to want you to be part of the show. And I'll get to meet you there because now that they've dragged me out of retirement, they promised to drag me down to Texas once a year to say hello to everybody, which I'm joyful to do because there's a lot of wonderful spirits there. And Sarah, seriously, I have been inspired by your work, and I am just honored to have had you on the show. And I really hope you come back sometime in the future and help us let the whole world know how important it is to take time for hemp.
Look at all that money. Look at all that money. Yeah, the money that they've spent. Take another look and take some time for him. Don't cut trees for paper, 'cause it hurts the environment. Stop deforestation, yeah, it's time for him. Well, an acre of hemp makes 20 barrels of oil. No need for pesticides to poison all our soil. People got no food, they got no clothes, they got no rent. Well, it's time for hemp. Throughout Earth's history, hemp has been used, no mystery. Hemp was legal to pay your taxes for more than a century. Faxes, the founding fathers make sense to me. It's time to grow hemp legally. Think of all its uses, it's money that's well spent. Right now, no excuses, it's time for hemp. Sustainable green industry, that's our intent. A better place this world will be. It's time for hemp. Fuel and food and clothes and soap, housing, cars, yeah, cars, no joke. Henry Ford built a car of hemp. It's time for us to do it again. People being flowers for with Valentine as it's meant right now. It's time for hemp. Hemp is a true necessity for the wealth and protection of this country. Thomas Jefferson spoke those words. He knew the value of these herbs. It's time to lift the hemp. It's time to make a strong stance. Well, yes, we can. I know we can. We can make a difference. Yes, we can. Just like birds of a feather, work together to live in hemp. Look at all that money, yeah, the money that they spend. Take another look and take some time for him. Don't cut trees for paper, cause it hurts the environment. Stop deforestation, yeah, it's time for him.